I'm nominating my son Nathan. In July 2010, Nathan went to bed like any healthy little boy. He woke with a really bad headache and was rushed to hospital by the ambulance crew. A CT scan showed a massive bleed to his brain, and he was rushed straight to Alder Hey intensive care. He had an operation to fit a drain to his brain to remove the blood, and stayed in intensive care for 3 weeks. After 3 weeks of not responding, we were faced with the decision of having to remove the ventilator. Doctors had warned us that he'd be severely brain damaged or be in a coma. Slowly but surely he started to make small improvements, and he continued at Alder Hey, having intensive physiotherapy, hydrotherapy, speech and language and occupational therapy. The doctors were absolutely amazed at his progress, and he became known at Alder Hey as the Little Miracle Boy. He stayed in Alder Hey for 4 months. 3 months he was unable to talk, and for those 4 months he remained being tube fed. After that time he was allowed to come home, but we had to return back to Alder Hey for 4 days a week to carry on with his therapies and his hospital schooling. The physio who treated Nathan had said she'd never actually treated a boy who was so young and determined to get better, and that's really proved now in the way he's improved. In January, Nathan had to go back to Alder Hey for a craniotomy, which was a critical operation to remove the AVM from his brain that had caused the bleed, and also to prevent any further bleeds. The operation was absolutely hideous because we were waiting for 7 hours. After that time we went to the recovery area to find Nathan sat up asking when he could watch TV and what he was having for tea, so yet again he'd amazed the doctors. At the end of January, Nathan returned back to his mainstream school with all his friends. At that time he was confined to a wheelchair, but he's continued to make good progress, and he can now walk just with the aid of a crutch. He's doing all the same schoolwork as all his friends, his reading, his spellings, and he's thoroughly enjoying being back at school. Prior to Nathan's illness, he absolutely loved and breathed football, and again through his determination and hard work, he's been able to go back to his local football team and join in the training sessions with them, just kicking the ball around with his mates, which means such a lot to him. He's never once complained of his illness, and he just sort of gets on, faces anything that is really thrown at him. And I think Nathan's recovery is really down to his love of life, his courage, his determination, and really what Nathan has shown in his recovery is that it doesn't matter what's thrown at you, you can overcome anything and, really get better.